Yo, what's going on, guys? Your boy Brito. Hopefully y'all are all having a great day so far. But yeah, life is pretty crazy right now because of this corona pandemic. You already know what's going on. I don't know what my dog's doing. She was supposed to sit right there, but hopefully you guys all had a great Easter. I know I did. I had one person over, which is my uncle. He's been quarantining himself because you guys know what's going on. It's kind of crazy with this quarantine shit. I haven't been in work for a whole month, and it sucks because, you know, I love my job. And it just sucks to not be able to do what I want to do during the week and pretty much just not be busy all the time. So I've been making my best efforts to, you know, just be a little busy by, like, you know, working out, doing home workouts, staying active on my Instagram, and put the link down below to that. You guys should check that out. And then lastly, you know, I'm just going to be working on my YouTube for a little bit. But besides all that, guys, today's video is just going to be about stretching. To be more specific, I'm going to be giving you guys a static stretch routine for both upper and lower body. I know there's probably going to be like a few of you that are going to be like, yo, what the heck's a static stretch? But it's okay. I got you guys. I'm going to break it down for you very easily. So a static stretch is pretty much when you get your body into a position where your muscle is in a slightly intense yet comfortable position, and you just got to hold that for at least 30 seconds. I know 30 seconds might sound like a really long time just to hold one stretch, but I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not even gonna get into the anatomy of this, but your body literally needs that 30 seconds or more for it to actually be effective when you're doing static stretching. So I'm just letting you guys know, so please hold it for 30 or more seconds. What static stretching actually does is it just increases like your ranges of motion, and then it also increases overall flexibility in general. So if you're somebody that's just not too flexible, you haven't stretched before, these are the stretches for you. Before we get into the routines, I just want to show you guys my two things that I want to increase the most, which is my range of motion and flexibility in my rotator cuffs and in my hips. So as you can see, I couldn't even lift my leg that high, so it's pretty sad, but I'm gonna show you guys that right now. Yeah, so as you guys can clearly see, I have some extremely tight hips, and to be honest with you, one of my goals is just to be able to sit with my legs crossed normally someday. Alright, so this one's a little interesting. As you see, when I turn around, this side I can actually touch my fingers tip to tip. Pause. But I could do that, and then when I turn around, I'll let you know. Hold on 1 second. Ready? Oh, I messed up. Used the same arm again. But look, I go back to this arm, and look at the difference. This is crazy. Like, look at my face. Look at that difference. I have no idea what the hell it is, but just super tight in that one arm. Okay, so now onto the stretches. There's going to be a total of 10 stretches, guys, and the first 6 are actually going to be lower body since I'm a little bit more tight on the lower body, and then the last 4 are going to be upper. So the stretch I'm demonstrating right here is actually called the kneeling hip flexor stretch. Now this stretch is really good for stretching both the quad and the hip flexor, and what you want to do when you get into it, just like that, you want to anteriorly rotate your pelvis, which is move it forward so you can get a better stretch through your hip flexor and quad, and just hold it for 30 seconds. Okay, for the next good amount of stretches that I'm going to be doing, you're going to need like a rope. In this case, I use my dog's dog leash. You could use a shoelace, a wire, anything that could wrap around your foot just like that. Just make sure you guys don't use anything with elasticity to it or anything that can stretch. So just use something like a rope that's really sturdy, because you don't want to be doing a stretch with something that could stretch. It defeats the purpose. And for the stretch that I'm doing right here, it's actually for the hamstring. So as you can see, I'm keeping tension throughout my hamstring and the rope the whole time. And right now I'm switching feet. So if you get confused on how to switch feet quickly, there you go. But as you can see, I'm just holding it very tight, and I'm keeping that stretch throughout that hamstring the entire time. And I'm going to be doing this for 2 to 3 sets for 30-second static holds. For this next stretch, it's actually going to be for the inner thigh, which is the adductor. So as you can see, I have the tension throughout the band and my muscle the entire time, and my dog's just chilling there in the back sniffing on me. I'm like trying to keep focused, but it's kind of hard when you got a little cute pooch right there next to you. But yeah, a little off topic, but let me go back to it. As you can see, I'm stretching that adductor, and another thing you might notice is my stomach pumping in and out, and what that is just me breathing normally, which is what you're supposed to do when you do any stretch. Okay, so for this next stretch, it's actually the seated piriformis stretch, so it stretches out the glutes. So what you want to do is grab your right knee that's contralateral to your left shoulder, and you just want to pull it up diagonally and hold it. After you switch sides, just make sure you repeat the same process you just did, and then you just want to hold it for 2 to 3 sets for 30 seconds. Alright, so this stretch right here is actually called the butterfly stretch, and for people with very tight hips, it is really beneficial because it stretches out the hip flexors and the adductors. And when you're doing this stretch, the key to it is that you don't want to put all the force from your hands into your knees to push them down. You actually want to use your own hip muscles to pull those knees down and hold that stretch using its own force.
Okay, so for this last stretch, it's going to be a lying quad stretch with the rope. So as you can see, I'm laying flat on the ground on my stomach. And after lying on my stomach, I'm going to proceed to grab the string and then hold it and pull the whole time. As you can see, I'm slightly lifting up my quad off the ground to increase that tension between that muscle. This stretch is actually one of the more intense stretches I do, so if you can't do it this way, you can go regress and do it with just your arm. So instead of you using a rope to pull your leg over, you can just grab your arm and lay on your side. And you can actually look it up too, just a lying quad stretch, and it's really simple. Alright, so that's pretty much going to wrap up our 6 lower body stretches, and now we're just going to go on to the upper, and there's only 4 for those. Okay, so the first stretch we're going to be doing for upper body is actually a single lat stretch, and in this case I'm going to be using a foam roller. You can use anything that can roll on any surface just to get yourself into that position where your lat is stretching, as you can see. And once you get yourself into the position, just hold it for 30 seconds for 2 to 3 sets. Okay, so for this next stretch, you want to put one arm over and one arm under and have both of the arms reaching towards the middle of your back. As you can see, when I do this stretch, I almost can touch both of the tips of my hands. And honestly, a really cool goal for this stretch is just for me to be able to grab both of my hands together. That would be really dope, but I have no idea how long it's going to take. But you know what? As long as I keep stretching, I know I'll be able to do that someday. Okay, so now on to this next stretch. For this one, it's really good for your biceps and your shoulders. So when you do it, you just want to get in that position and scoot your legs forward and just have your arms laid back, just like that. So for the final upper body stretch, we just have the simple shoulder stretch. So when you do this, you just simply want to grab your arm and pull it across your body, just like that. And it's going to be stretching your entire shoulder on that side that you're pulling. For those of you that made it to the end, I just want to let you know that I appreciate every single each and one of you. And to be honest, during this quarantine, I'll be trying my best to keep up the content for you guys, and honestly for myself too, because you know, this is something I want to do, and it's something that I'm willing to put time and effort into. So whether you guys are here to see it or not, I'm gonna always be on that grind. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.